Welcome, everybody, to another Miami Dolphins preview. This time it is week 11, game 11, week 12 preview between the Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. Um, we have faced the New England Patriots earlier this season. It was week 5, and then after that we went to our bye week. The Dolphins go up to Gillette Stadium. It was Jacoby Brissett for the Patriots side going up against Tyler Huntley's Dolphins. Tyler Huntley, well, as crazy as it sounds, folks, he did lead us to victory, although a little bit of help with our defense, which was shocking enough, but also, in which you give or take how you feel about it, but also with the help of a little bit of a controversy at the end of that game. If you remember that, it was a incomplete toe. It was that incomplete pass and second down where one of the players caught it for a touchdown. As I'm gonna go back and take a look real quick. It was let's see here, to Polk for 12 yards. Yeah, so that was it. Polk would get that touchdown for 12 yards, they looked at it in replay and they have determined that it was incomplete. Although the front of his 2 feet were both inbounds, and if there's a rule that says you have to have both of your feet in the end zone, I would like to find it. But as far as I know, if your toes or your heel, if as long as you have possession of the football and it's inbounds, it's a touchdown or it's a completed pass. But I don't know. It's just a strange ruling that they would call this an incomplete pass back then. But since then, the Dolphins went on a losing streak, which was terrible. Which there are some winnable games like the Colts and the Cardinals, with the 16-10 loss, which was frustrating enough as it is. And then the Cardinals one was even more frustrating because I feel like we had that in our grasp when Tua's return, and the fact that we didn't do so was exceptionally bad. How about the New England Patriots though? Since then, I already talked about the Bengals win, the Seahawks loss, the Jets completely wiped the floor at them on Thursday night, losing the 49ers, and then losing the Dolphins, like I just said. Since the Dolphins lost, they lost to the Texans, which they are a good team. They proven to be a pretty darn good team. In fact, I think they're now Texas team now. Instead of the Cowboys. So they lost to the Texans 41-21. They go to London to get wiped the floor up by the Jaguars. Actually, they lost half of what they have made. They lost to the Jaguars 32-16, which we beat the Jaguars no problem. But then the Jets came up to Gillette and the Patriots did beat them there. Which I keep hearing stuff. Anyway, this is when Drake May got hurt. I think, yeah, this is when Drake May got hurt. I think he's fine now. So he played after that Jets game. Did he play against the Titans? Yes, but they lost to the Titans on that game in overtime. So thankfully, we're not the only ones that lost to the Titans. But it's still frustrating, if you know what I mean, especially on Monday night. But they did easily handle the Bears, 19-3, and then at Gillette Stadium just last week, actually, they lost to the Rams 28-22, and I think this was the rebound win for the Los Angeles Rams, despite what we did to them in Monday nights, which we didn't even allow them to get a touchdown. And then at this point, so last time we played them at Gillette Stadium, which I already talked about the controversy. Now it's going to be in Hard Rock Stadium. It's going to be in Miami Gardens. And this is not without our backups. This is not Jacoby Brissett versus Tyler Huntley again. No, I have a feeling it's going to be Tua Tagovailoa versus Drake May. I've talked about Drake May in a previous year before when he was a North Carolina Tar Heel. Last year I did a Miami Hurricanes football recaps. I did talk about Drake May quite a lot in that season alone, in which when the Hurricanes was trying to win, North Carolina would always bounce back, and Drake May He was a dominant quarterback. He was a dominant quarterback. But making this rookie starts after Jacoby Brissett, he's learning it the hard way. He as of right now in the season, Drake May is has 66.7% completion rate. He has 9 touchdown passes with 1,236 passing yards. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a rookie, especially in the Patriots side, because they do have a pretty good offensive quarterback coach. But in terms of everything else, 6 interceptions. He has 6 interceptions in the season, which is nothing. I'm not gonna go against that because he is a rookie. He is still learning the game. I think he's going to be. I hope not, but going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially with the New England Patriots. Dear God, I hope not. But with Tua, since coming back from injury, he has definitely played his good football. The issue is the defense is not holding up well, and I feel like the offensive line is just absolutely making us miserable by letting this happen numerous occasions. And this is how a lot of our quarterbacks got hurt. It's not just Tua. Skylar Thompson got hurt, and then Tyler Huntley got hurt. We need a better O-line. I'm still going to stick by what I said. Despite having a 4-6 record, we need a better O-line. Because trust me, when we get a good O-line, we will make it very far, especially if we're trying to make a run. But you got Stevenson and then Achane going to be the case runners, especially with Achane. Achane's playing this really good football in the last few weeks. He has been absolutely phenomenal. But Stevenson of the New England Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, he has 585 yards right now. 585 yards of the season with 6 touchdowns. It's going to be very difficult to stop him, and this is why I'm pretty anxious about our defense. And then you also got Tyreek Hill and Hunter Henry. He does have a couple of receptions against us, but no touchdowns. But so every game is different. Every game is different. Now, for Tyreek Hill, since Tua's returning, he has definitely got his more touchdown passes. He got 2 more since week 1. So that's awesome. Returns of the injuries, you got Barmore, this is for the Patriots. Barmore, Taki, if I butcher, I apologize. Dietrich Wise Jr., Keon White, and Afrane, Anfernay Jennings, all questionable. I have a feeling they're probably going to return. Terran Armstead for the Dolphins is questionable. Alec Ingalls also questionable. Let's hope that he would come back in this game. Everybody's out. Kendall Fuller is out for this game. And then nobody's talking about him. And this is and also too, I don't want to say it's fully on Anthony Weaver because injuries were kind of a problem too. And that's something that I wanted to point out. And it kind of slipped my mind. But the injuries were a big factor. Now, these last few weeks, it's gotten better with the injuries, but not when somebody like Jalen Phillips is done for the year. And nobody really talks much about this player, but I'm going to say it anyway because he is still on a PUP list. He might not even play this season. He's probably going to play next season if he's still with us. Bradley Chubb. Anybody remember Bradley Chubb? He's still on the PUP list. I don't know when he's going to come on the PUP list. I don't think anybody knows, but he's probably going to be done for the year too, as far as I know. He was scheduled to come back in week 5 and do a little practice, but he is still not back yet, and that's hurting. And that's hurting us defensively. It's hurting us. So whatever. I guess it depends on the season. If there's a lot on the line, if we have much more to play for, hopefully he feels better by that they would play him. But if not, then why would you risk more injury to Bradley Chubb or anybody, and also Kendall Fuller too? Why would you risk more significant injury if our season a lost cause? But the Dolphins still have something to fight for. Shockingly, I know. And then, of course, one more, Isaiah Wynn is also on a PUP list. I don't know if he's going to return in this season. So that's definitely bad news if we need some quarterback protection. but probably more bad news for the, for the defensive mindset for the Dolphins. So I don't know. I have no idea. But we already talked about how the Dolphins always beats the Patriots. Tua is undefeated against the New England Patriots. He is undefeated in against the Patriots. Even when Tyler Huntley played, the Dolphins still end up finding a way to win, and albeit with controversy. But he was undefeated against Bill Belichick, and now Bill Belichick is not their head coach. I forgot who's their head coach, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Tua going up against the Patriots, and especially going up against Drake May. This is going to be the first of many meetings between Tua and Drake May. We'll see what happens in this one. But, excuse me. For all I know, this is the game that the Dolphins should have. If not, then yeah, our season's probably going to be kissing goodbye. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions on down below. Let me know what you think. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami TG has you back. And when it does, hit me right there with the entertainment you deserve. Now, one more thing. This is off topic, and I want to say this for the last, that before I forget. Yeah, the Miami Dolphins 72 team is still the only undefeated team in Super Bowl history that has made it all the way from start to finish undefeated and winning the Super Bowl. And I brought this up because I had a comment last week that, the Chiefs lost, and they did lose to the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately. But regardless of that, the Dolphins is still going to be your solely undefeated team in the NFL. So at least I'm grateful for that. I don't have to worry too much about it. But yeah, man. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, like I said. And yeah, I already spoke about the head-to-head record back in the previous preview. But yeah, folks, that's going to do it. I'll see you guys when the time comes. All right? Miami TVG. Signing out, folks. Good night, everybody.